Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. The WBC says if Gennady Golovkin does not face Canelo next, he has to fight his WBC mandatory Jermall. Lions only Charlo. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang. Please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Looky what we have here. Ego's Army, Boxing Ego, the movement, new media strikes again. Now, Mauricio Sulaiman told ESPN Deportes, link is in the description, that Golovkin, if he chooses not to or they can't negotiate a deal between Canelo and Golovkin 2 for September, he must next face, and it will be ordered, a fight with his WBC mandatory Jermall Charlo. He says, and I quote, Golovkin has all our support, but if the fight is not done, he will have to go with Charlo because the entire history is clear as it is. So we are recommending to him to do what is best for him because he wants to do the rematch with Canelo. He wants to earn the money that he will generate there, and he wants that visibility that he has always wanted around the world. He has sacrificed so much for so many years to get to this point, and now for something that is so not so important like the financial split, it's putting him at risk. It would be strange to me if that fight with Canelo is not done. End quote. Mauricio Sulaiman, WBC. Listen, I told you guys the walls were closing in on Mr. Triple G. I said he was surrounded with good fights. Now he's in quite the conundrum. Abel, Triple G, they threw dirt on Canelo's name, right? Additional dirt, we'll say that, because they aren't responsible for Canelo failing the drug test. We know that. But they made the spot even hotter by saying he's been cheating since the first fight. He's stacking and layering his gloves, creating some sort of cast. The fight fell apart. Now it looks like they were on track and on pace to fight in September. And out of nowhere, we're hearing from Golden Boy and Tom Loeffler that now Triple G doesn't want the agreed upon rematch split of 65-35. He wants more. He wants a more equitable split. 50-50 is what they're saying. And Triple G side saying he wants 50-50. Golden Boy saying, we're not going to give you that. That's a ridiculous demand. They were on board with the original negotiated terms. All the major talking points were done. We were waiting on just like a final answer, sign on the dotted line type thing. And 5-6 weeks later, Team Triple G springs this, asking for more money. They're not getting that. And they says Canelo, he's an A side. They're not going to concede that. And we'll move on. The train has left. And the only way Triple G can fight Canelo is if he takes, that's what Oscar De La Hoya tweeted and made a video about it. Only way that he's going to get the fight next is if he takes the agreed upon split. Now you have the WBC president, Mauricio Sulaiman, who is saying, hey, we were going to give you an exception in May to fight Canelo. We had Hugo Centeno Jr. and Jermall Charlo fight, a fight that I covered as media. Great fight while it lasted. Charlo impressed, second round knockout. We know how that played out. And he says, we're going to grant you this Canelo exception. It didn't happen in May for obvious reasons. It could still happen in September. Yet, if it is not going to happen in September, then we will order you to face your mandatory, which is Jermall Charlo. So the WBC is putting Team Golovkin in quite the pinch because any way you slice it, these are all different things that their team is going to have to decide. So let me break it down as I see it. WBC says Canelo or Charlo. So if you don't fight, you and Canelo can't agree. And it sounds like they're urging you, and it sounds like they want you to fight Canelo. They're saying like, yo, you said you wanted this. It's for history. You can't make this type of money with any other guys. And you'll make less money versus a dangerous guy in Charlo. They didn't say that, but that's kind of what it sounds like. Sulaiman says he has sacrificed so much for so many years to get this point, and now for something that is not so important like the financial split, it's putting him at risk. What does that tell you? What would he mean at risk? At risk for Charlo. That's what it's sounding like. So he said he wanted 50-50 split. De La Hoya says he's not getting that. So now if he doesn't, they can't agree on the split for whatever reason, then the WBC is going to order him to fight Jermall Charlo, who's looking like a monster lately. Good fight. Triple G versus Charlo, right? Even if somehow you don't fight Charlo, the IBF will get their official ruling. They just had a hearing, like a 4-hour hearing last week, I think. But they're telling you got to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko. Canelo's handlers are supposed to be negotiating with Billy Joe Saunders, so he might be out of the equation. So really, that's going to leave Derevyanchenko, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, your other mandatory, Jermall Charlo, or a fight like that. You know what I mean? Or a Daniel Jacobs rematch. And again, if you have two mandatories and they're ordered by the IBF, Derevyanchenko, and the WBC by Charlo, you could get stripped if you rematch Danny Jacobs. And Danny Jacobs is your mandatory with the WBA. Damn, it's getting crunch time for Team Golovkin. You know what I mean? What will they decide? That's the $1 million question. What will they decide to do? Now, if you concede and agree back to the 65-35, at this point, it's going to look like you didn't want no smoke with your mandatories, because you and your team says that's fine. They're entitled to their opinion. They can move on if they want. We want a more equitable split. So now if you now change that, don't get a more equitable split, but then you just agree like the WBC is pleading and telling you to do, then it's going to look like Triple G wanted to fight Canelo because he was the most money and the least of the threats. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you say, I want 50-50, I want a more equitable split, not get it, and then find out the WBC is ordering the Charlo fight, and then now you're willing to not get the 50-50 and still fight him under the initial terms. So it's going to be real interesting. I don't know, but I know new media is working, and a lot of detractors, a lot of people are mad that we said it, but you guys can see. So good luck to Triple G. I don't know what he's going to decide, but like I said, the walls are closing in terms of these good fights and mandatories barking up those trees and wanting their opportunities. The Derevyanchenkos, the Daniel Jacobs with the WBA, the WBC said they're going to order Charlo, and then you have even non-champions like Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, which would probably be a tough fight for anybody at middleweight. So real interesting to see what Golovkin's side is going to do. That's all I can say, because either way, they're good fights. Charlo is a great fight. That's probably my number one middleweight fight that I want to see. Let me know what you guys think Triple G will do, but the WBC says if no Canelo, then Golovkin has to face Charlo. Very interesting news. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.